let's get into the people and actors of Helstrom. Most of these people were complete unknowns to us. I mean, you have the showrunner and writer, Paul Bashevsky. He was also the co-executive producer, then executive producer for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and even got to write some episodes for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He is, or was, the supervising producer, then co-executive producer for Lost. Even though I have no idea who Paul Bashevsky is, he's been a part of a lot of stuff I've watched. So, nice job, Paul.
Now you know who he is.
I guess
and you'll never forget him.
I will forget him instantly as soon as we're done with this segment.
Daimon Helstrom, he's played by Tom Austen, and you might have seen him in The Royals.
No, I didn't.
He's in a lot of British movies or shows. Or
is he British? You called that.
Yeah.
You said
no. We saw him at Comic-Con, and I recognize his accent.
I know, but you said during the show, you said something's wrong with the English in this show.
Yeah, well, you can always kind of tell when
British people are playing American accents.
Or vice versa or whatever.
Yeah.
Like if you try to speak in a different accent than you normally do, it's just like a little off. There's just something. I think he did a pretty good job,
He did a good job. Like in Lucifer when
That's
Tom
bad.
Ellis tries to have the American accent. It's so bad.
Tom, you need to talk to Tom.
Yeah.
And help Tom Ellis out with his American accent.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, Tom Austen did a much better job than Tom Ellis for sure with the American accent.
Anna Helstrom, she's played by Sydney Lemmon, and you might have seen her in Fear the Walking Dead.
What?
She was Isabella in 2 episodes in 2019, so that was probably after we stopped watching it. I don't remember. I didn't want to look it up because I didn't want to see any spoilers, because I know we'll probably go back and watch it.
Seems familiar. Okay.
She was also in a Broadway play called The Parisian Woman, and Uma Thurman was in that play as well, so I thought that was kind of fun, because we just talked about Uma Thurman.
Yeah, if Uma Thurman doesn't have a samurai sword, I'm not interested.
Or poison ivy vines and plants growing around her.
No, she sucked in that movie.
Oh.
Talking about Batman and Robin. Horrible.
Yes. And the other Helstrom we're going to talk about is Victoria Helstrom. And she's played by Elizabeth Marvel. Does she own the Marvel company?
No.
Okay. I like how her name's Marvel.
We laughed at that on the Comic-Con panel.
But you might have seen her in Homeland or Law and Order Special Victims Unit or House of Cards. She's not in anything that we've seen.
You called this one too. You said, I bet these people are in a bunch of cop shows that we don't watch.
No. A lot of these actors are in cop dramas and we don't watch any of that stuff.
Because there's millions of them. Like anybody working is in a cop drama.
Yeah. I know a couple of these, I don't remember who they were, but a couple of these actors were in ER. And I chuckled about them like, they worked with George Clooney.
Yeah. Moving on, we have Gabriella Rossetti, who is played by Ariana Guerra, and you might have seen her in Raising Dion, which I do want to watch. Because like a supernatural thing or like a superhero thing.
Yeah, like the son has superhero powers and they have to figure out how to raise them, I think. I don't know.
We saw that on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah. That's been on our to watch list for a while.
Should we watch it? Yes or no?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Tell us in the comments if we should watch it. It looks good. Then we have Dr. Louise Hastings, who is played by Jun Carryl, who I thought did an amazing job. You might have seen her in Mindhunter, which Erin won't let me watch, or One Fine Christmas, which I'm sure I probably could watch if I wanted to.
Yes. I think that's an Oprah movie or like a Harpo. That's why I put it in.
Yeah. But Mindhunter is also on Netflix, and we started watching like one episode of that. Did we? Yeah, and you're like, this ain't for me. It's just one of those where...
Spooky?
Not super spooky. But this one I put on my list to watch in airplanes, but, then I don't fly anymore, so...
I shouldn't laugh at that. I just laugh because Greg puts stuff on lists and he never gets to.
I have a whole other life that I live flying in airplanes and watching things that Erin doesn't watch, like Billions and all sorts of really fun
And all
shows.
those books that you read too.
Yeah, I've really cut down on reading books now that I don't travel, which is really sad. Next, we have Caretaker, a.k.a. Henry, who is played by Robert Wisdom, who, as soon as I saw him, I was like, yes, I love this guy.
Yeah.
I remember him from The Dark Knight Rises. He was the army captain at the bridge. I've seen him in Supernatural. He played Uriel, which he had a pretty big role in Supernatural.
Yeah.
He's been in a bunch of stuff. I bet you if we looked at IMDb, we would see that he's in a ton of stuff.
Oh, yeah. A lot of these people were in a lot of stuff.
Then there's Chris Yen, who is played by Alain Uy. And you might have seen him in The Morning Show or Paper Tigers. Any of those ring a bell?
Yeah, The Morning Show is that one on Apple Plus with Steve Carell and Jennifer Aniston.
Now, which of these characters and or actors were your favorite?
I picked two. Broke the rules.
Of course. Let me guess, like Damon.
Yes. Damon
and Anna.
Anna.
Yeah.
Okay, we're done.
You picked the
Why did
vanilla...
I like them, Greg? You just gonna tell me this too?
Yeah. You picked the pumpkin spice latte of characters.
Well, if you just keep listening, you'll hear my runner-ups in a later segment because I talk about them later.
Okay. Well,
They're really close.
Tell us why you picked this one then.
I thought that they were both really great actors. And for not knowing them in anything else and seeing them before, I thought they did a really good job. I liked how each of them had supernatural powers as well. I thought that was pretty neat.
The supernatural powers were awesome. Tom Austen, I think, did a great job. Sydney Lemmon did decent job. I think Tom Austen was pretty amazing. Yeah. She did a nice job too, Sydney Lemmon.
Yeah.
I thought Tom Austen was in a class of his own with Damon.
Damon was just a good guy, I thought, deep down. Like, even with all the craziness that went on in his life when he was younger. I really liked the idea of him just helping his mom no matter how bad his mom was. I thought that was pretty good of him because, you know, he had a really bad upbringing, and I thought that was pretty neat because he always tried to keep the family together, and he was always kind of the one that was apologizing, I think, to Anna, you know, and trying to bring the family back together, which I like that.
I'm not going to say any spoilers, but I get what you're saying. And people will pick up on what we said here when they watch the show. Mm-hmm. They'll be like, oh, I see what you mean by keeping the family together and wanting to do that stuff.
Yeah. But I thought Damon's powers were really cool. I just wish we would have gotten to see more of his powers. Like, they should have broke them out earlier than they did.
I'm going to mention that in the review section after the mid-roll where we can really get into the deep spoilers. But I agree with you. We didn't get to see Laser Eyes until episode 10. It was crazy. It was just crazy.
Okay, one of the reasons I liked Anna so much is that her look was very unique. Couldn't get over like her clothes and her hairstyle. We watch so many supernatural type shows, and usually the women, they're kind of more like down to earth. I don't know. They're not anything like her. And I just thought she had a very unique look to her, and I liked it a lot.
You know what she reminded me of? She was like the personification of a 1980s modern house. Yeah, like square and white and shiny.
You thought it was basic? I thought she was extreme opposite of a pumpkin spice latte.
No, I mean, I think she looked amazing. It's just that she looked like 80s modern. I don't know how best to describe it, but it was all like white and black leather. Just reminded me of like a VH1 video. You know what I mean? Everybody listening's like, they don't even know what VH1 is, but there was 2 channels that played music, not just MTV.
Is VH1 even around?
I don't know. But like in the 80s, it was an 80s look. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you totally see her with like lasers and lots of triangles.
Yeah.
And smoke. And like in a Duran Duran video.
But it was crazy and different, and I liked it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, everything that's old is new again. My favorite character was actually Chris Yen, played by Alain Uy, who I think just was an amazing actor, quite frankly.
Yeah, he did a good job.
The Chris character is what I really liked. Elaine played him perfectly, but the writing for that character is what I really enjoyed. We saw him with a lot of drama, and I'm not going to say too many spoilers. He went through a crisis and eventually had to overcome some serious crap and kind of fulfill his true potential.
Spoilers.
And
he's just a guy, Greg. He's just a guy.
He could have just had to make that antique sale. Nobody knows what I'm talking about.
Must have been a pretty epic antiquities sale.
Yeah, I don't want to give away any spoilers this early in the show, but I like how the writers gave Chris like a hero's journey. That's the best way to say it, maybe. And when you see it, if you haven't watched the show, just keep your eyes peeled for Chris. That's all I'm saying. He turns out really fun.